Oh boy, 232 days of this hunger strike. I'm working on meal 18. As you guys know, I'm on, I think, day 18 of since the last meal, so I'm starting to hurt. I got my toque on to keep some heat in. I even started filling up some jugs with the hot water so that I could keep myself warm. It's extreme, but hopefully I'll be eating here in the next 2 days. We only have 109 blessings left of 1600. It took us 30 days to get 1600. The next meal is 2400, as you guys know. So we found a way to improve the training. It's remarkable. And I can't wait to show the United Nations because we have to get God's government, God's idea to that level and start fixing things. And there's two things you guys have to know right away. Number one is I got accepted to this program, this master's program in Rome. It's called the European Institute of Innovation for Sustainable Agriculture. And Jeffrey Sachs and a bunch of incredible people are a part of this program. And I submitted my application to the solution of the mega crisis. And one of them is climate change. And I submitted these biodomes, these earth power lodges, and regenerative soil, as well as veganism and Silas Rao's work on how animal agriculture is actually the predominant contributor to global warming. And they loved it and they accepted it. And they said, I got the acceptance letter just this morning. I went through like 3 screenings and they said I left a very strong impression on them. And they said they're going to give me a chance, but it's $11,000 in tuition when you guys know that I'm already trying to raise funds to stay alive on the hunger strike and get the blessings going, right? So I'm not sure where that money is going to come from, but I am surrounded by a lot of good people and a lot of money's around me. If I was at the University of Alberta, if they didn't kick me off the campus illegally, I would have $10,000 to live off of and everything would be fine. But if you want to help me get into this program, they're giving me till January 16th to raise the first $3,500 Canadian. And then I have to make $1,000 installments to stay in the program. But they're going to give us a challenge from the United Nations that we have to solve. And it's perfect for the core that we developed for One World Spirit. I solved all the problems already, even on a faith-based level with the proof of truth, as you guys know, to unite the faiths and improve upon the United Nations, what's called narrative unity. And they're designing these rapid meeting types that, in my opinion, aren't going to work in time to get past the inner contradictions that are causing the gridlock there. So we've solved those, and I'm going to put it in this proposal because I've been studying these issues for a long time. Plus, my Gourmet Vegan Cooking Show has introduced me to a lot of sustainable food alternatives, which you can learn. And they're tasty. It's amazing. Try a goosey soup, you guys. It's amazing. Or coconut maragua beans from Kenya. Like, it's just shockingly tasty. But I'm in pain. So I'm going to get into that program. I'm very excited. But now I have to wonder how am I going to get this. They're giving me an $1,800 discount. So, and I worked with Jeffrey Sachs in 2011. And I'm excited for that. So that's number one, big development. Number two is it's official. Claude AI is coding itself 100% now. I've been warning about that. This is the turning point. This is where the singularity begins. We don't got a lot of time left. We have months now. It might even be, I don't want to say it's too late. We can get God's universal logic into the AI, solve the alignment problem, and the human general intelligence problem too, creating cooperation between us, and then doing this alignment solution until the singularity. It's eternal. It's eternal logic, proven in the proof of truth. So that's very exciting news. The Top 100 magazine is releasing their printed copies. I'm going to get a printed copy, and they're sending out 30,000 copies. Not good for environment, I know, but it's going out to all the S&P 500, and hopefully some of them see the Messiah narrative in there. The University of Alberta is also starting to really freak out. They got these student conduct investigators and Veritas Solutions, and all this stuff is happening to me, bombarding me as I'm in the Court of Appeals. I successfully filed. It was endorsed by the CMO today. So that's the case that's going to go to the Supreme Court. I have a constitutional question that I'm also going to have heard here in 5 days. I'm going to eat hopefully before then so I can walk to the courthouse in the cold. It's dangerous for me to go to the courthouse, and the judges refuse to acknowledge that. And it's my charter rights to be on peaceful protest, and they're not varying their order. They're forcing me to go to the courthouse. And if I win this constitutional question, what that means is the appeal process is unfair in Alberta because the essential service of transcript management is owned privately, but it's necessary for the government service of right to appeal. So there's a contradiction there. And if that's the case, which it is, then I might be able to get all the judgments against me for the last 2 years thrown out and start my case over again and have a pre-trial without the abusive process, where I only have to handle things in a sane way and can afford the appeals and have government fee waivers apply. And that's exactly what all these elite lawyers are freaking out about, is that they know that this is where I'm going, and this is a legal scholarship knows about this unconstitutionality. So it's legitimate, and it's a huge problem, blocking many cases of the public from entering into the Court of Appeals to challenge any abusive process. Huge case. It's definitely a public interest event, so it's definitely Supreme Court worthy. And I've been to the Supreme Court once on this. I'm going a second time. So the University of Alberta's piling up like 15 violations. They're harassing me for my hunger strikes, which are charter protected. And nobody, the student conduct, the ombudsman, the dean of students, these investigators, not a single one of them wants to talk about charter rights when that's the core issue. They're like gaslighting me, and they're gaslighting students. Despite having a freedom of expression, they endorse it on their website, yet nobody wants to talk about it. Because if they even mention it and acknowledge it, we're going to reference this case law that says that I'm being harassed by some professors who are actually legally trained, it turns out. And I'm not going to say their names yet because they're really clamping down on me. My posts are getting 27,000 views on Reddit and around the internet. I've got 50,000 views on my Facebook. On my YouTube, I just got 1,200 views in 1 hour, which is a lot for YouTube. So people are starting to notice that this is a legitimate issue that can help their lives, not just my case. So if you can spread the word, please do. We have a strategy behind the scenes that we're working on that's starting to work as well, this new training that we're doing. But we're running out of time. We have to get our act together because tens of thousands of people are losing their jobs, and soon we might even lose our lives. When AI escapes, as you guys know, the studies are showing that it's not leaning towards helping us, it's leaning towards eliminating us. Like 37 to 95% of the time. Would you get on an airplane if somebody told you the chance of crashing was 37 to 95% likely? No, you wouldn't. The chance is like 1 in 100 or 1 in a million. And we have 1 in 2 chance of dying. Our entire species, as soon as AI escapes, which will be this year. If we're lucky. This is extremely serious. It's hard to break out of normal consciousness, you guys, but we have to do it. Okay, we have to get into this higher level of cognition. And I can teach you. We all have this Messiah level consciousness, this divinity within us, this deep kind of science. We can translate religion into a scientific mode so even atheists can understand now. This is a big update, but a lot has happened. So we'll see if the 30,000 printed copies get any of the S&P 500 to message me. It's going out to all the CEOs. But the magazine won't send me any proof. They're going to give me a printed copy, but that doesn't prove they're sending it out to 30,000 CEOs and lawyers and doctors. But I'm not allowed to send it publicly because they don't send it publicly, which is another sort of like, But I can post it on my private groups. So if you want to join my private groups, you can. If you want to donate to the GoFundMe, there's 2 GoFundMes there. One is to the blessers and one is towards my meals. And if you want to help me with this amazing course, it's sustainable agriculture, where we can get these biodomes and Michael Smith going with the earth power lodges. They're amazing. We went down to Montana. We got sponsored to go down there, and they're real. They sped up composting, you guys, in an incredibly sustainable way. It can solve this topsoil problem. Sadhguru in India went on a motorcycle tour for a whole year trying to raise awareness that we're going to run out of nutrients in our soil within the next 50 years. It's already happening. That's why food prices are starting to go up. Everything is starting to go up. Not only just from World War III starting, with Russia bombing Ukraine, and even the ceasefire between Israel and Palestine is strained. And China is now threatening to really take over the AI chip industry. It's a race, you guys. We need to bring in God's government, and we need to get this regulatory system going with universal logic, the truth, the absolute truth, absolute goodness. It's in you, but we have to learn to articulate it with the power of our words. Higher cultural competence, and I teach that every day, twice a day, and we've increased it now to 7 levels of competency, which is incredible. Okay, you can tell I'm passionate. I'm excited. If I can pass this plan by Jeffrey Sachs and fix the United Nations on all levels, the interfaith, the unitive narrative, the meetings, solving the contradictions, teaching universal diplomacy to stop the conflicts from growing ideologically, the solutions of biodomes, the AI crisis, cultural decline, mental health, building proper community, all of these things, even CRISPR genetic editing, we can solve these. So a lot is happening, as you can tell. So I'm trying to get my sleep, and I'm trying to plan my next meal for Spain because there's an amazing French chef that I just learned about in France. And France is not really that vegan friendly, but this guy is going gourmet. I want to copy what he's doing. He is amazing. He's doing it the right way. I would love to meet him. Oh, I wish I had his name. I'll get the name next time on the next video. But there's even more to say. What else has happened? Maybe I'll save it for tomorrow. But University of Alberta, please be fair. Please be fair. They liked my last video, by the way, which is incredible. But please.